Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. 8 Signs Bridgerton Season 3 will have to change Eloise's story from the books. Bridgerton Seasons 1 and 2 already proved ready to change things from Julia Quinn's book series, but the developments in Eloise's story left her in such a position that it would be difficult for her Bridgerton season to follow her book identically. From the introduction of characters central to the story in the Netflix show unseen in the books like Queen Charlotte, to the deepening of secondary character stories that weren't touched upon till their books like Colin's or Benedict's, Bridgerton showed to be willing to change the focus if it made the story more interesting on the small screen. However, Eloise's changes were monumental in Bridgerton Season 2. Eloise's storyline in Bridgerton Season 1 already had her inquisitively investigating to find the truth about Lady Whistledown, even if Penelope successfully misled her every time. However, Bridgerton Season 2 put Eloise's story even more to the forefront because of her investigation, which also led her to Theo Sharp and women's rights meetings and her society debut. Those developments and the distressing revelations of the Bridgerton Season 2's ending make TV show Eloise almost the opposite of book Eloise. This would likely lead to even more changes for her character in Bridgerton Season 3, risking her story to change dramatically when an Eloise-centric Bridgerton season tackles her story. Quinn's 4th novel in the Bridgerton series, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, already showed Eloise oft disappearing to write her letters, and when questioned, she never admitted to whom, whether it was Colin or Penelope inquiring. However, the freedom granted to Eloise to do so stemmed from her non-active role in finding the husband, as Eloise was already 28 and the Bridgertons assumed she would not be able to, effectively having become a spinster. While it's unknown how big the time jump will be in Bridgerton Season 3, or if there will be one, Eloise's position is quite different at the end of Bridgerton Season 2. To Sir Philip, with love started off with Eloise running away to meet Philip Crane after a long correspondence between the two ensued in Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, but that wouldn't be possible for Eloise in the Netflix TV show. With her just debuting in Bridgerton Season 2, it's unlikely Violet will let go of the chance to set up Eloise, especially after only one season in society. This will leave Eloise less freedom to disappear and start a correspondence, greatly changing the circumstances that prompted her story, even if she was still able to continue her search for the truth regarding Lady Whistledown in Bridgerton Season 2. Bridgerton Season 1 premiere introduced Marina Thompson as a distant cousin of Lord Featherington, making her entirely unknown to the Bridgertons except for her brief engagement to Colin. However, revealing the recipient of Eloise's letters to Sir Philip, with love introduced straight away how Eloise started writing to Philip Crane to express her condolences, as she learned of Marina's passing because she was her distant cousin. With no direct connection between Eloise and Marina, nor Eloise and the Cranes, it would be unlikely for her to start her secret correspondence with Philip. This Bridgerton change would make the circumstances of Eloise and Philip meeting even more difficult. The only reason behind Eloise entertaining the correspondence with Philip throughout Julia Quinn's Bridgerton books number 4 and 5 was her feeling left behind by Penelope's decision to accept Colin's engagement proposal. Indeed, Eloise had always taken for granted that she and Penelope would have been spinsters together, not dreading that eventuality because she could have still spent time with her friend rather than be alone, with the added upside of not having to deal with suitors. Colin and Penelope's engagement and marriage removed that opportunity for her, leading to her rash decision to run away to Sir Philip to give their relationship a chance. However, Bridgerton Season 2 finale's discovery made Eloise angry at Penelope for being Lady Whistledown and keeping it secret. Indeed, while Eloise's motivations into Sir Philip with love stemmed from her belief that Penelope wouldn't have pursued marriage and would have enjoyed remaining a spinster with her, underestimating Penelope's wishes, Eloise is enraged with Penelope by the end of Bridgerton Season 2 because of what she viewed as a betrayal and what Lady Whistledown cost her. This would make it very difficult for Eloise to look for comfort in corresponding with a stranger, as she would want to make Penelope pay rather than just find an alternative life plan. Eloise and Penelope's showdown in Bridgerton Season 2 finale included the many reasons Eloise felt betrayed by Penelope being Lady Whistledown, chief among them her reporting on Marina's pregnancy and Eloise's meeting with someone of the lower classes. With the Netflix summary of Bridgerton Season 3 hinting at its story being about Colin helping Penelope find her confidence to secure a match on the marriage mart, their closeness will be necessary, even if it only leads to romance later. Eloise would never accept that, as Lady Whistledown's words deeply hurt Colin and stopped her friendship with Theo, making her opposition to Colin and Penelope's union and unmasking of Whistledown likelier. Lady Whistledown's report about Eloise befriending someone from the lower classes brought shame upon the Bridgertons within the town, and Eloise stopped seeing him because she didn't want him to be the subject of Whistledown's reporting, hurting him more than how Whistledown hurt her. However, learning that Penelope was Lady Whistledown doubly stung her, as Eloise's inability to pursue Theo as a friend was caused by a friend's betrayal when she couldn't convince her to stop visiting Bloomsbury. Lady Whistledown's papers put a stop to them, but Eloise learning the truth about Whistledown might make her want to explain herself to Theo, especially as their separation was devised by Penelope. Whether Theo ends up being Eloise's romantic interest or not, their story would need to have some closure, as their last meeting was abruptly ended by Theo's disillusionment with Eloise and her suggestion not to get close to each other to protect him. Eloise's resolve was already proved by her successful search for Whistledown's identity, and she would need even more of it to return to Theo free from Penelope's protection after their feelings were so obviously on display in Bridgerton Season 2, Episode 8. This could very much happen because of how Theo and Eloise left each other, and because Penelope separating them might embolden Eloise even more. Bridgerton Season 2, Episode 4 gave Colin the chance to check on Marina and see where her life brought her, noticing firsthand how she wasn't particularly happy, but was willing to make her family work with Philip Crane. However, the meeting also made Colin realize he had a kinship with Philip, as he was interested in botany, and Colin was interested in anything Greece-related, having just returned from there. With the meeting, Bridgerton made sure to make Colin the only Bridgerton with a direct connection to the Crane family, making him the only one to possibly introduce Eloise and Sir Philip, if they are to be introduced at all. Romancing Mr. Bridgerton included a moment of truth between Eloise and Penelope, where Eloise admitted to feeling left out by Penelope and Colin's upcoming marriage. However, there was no acrimony between the two, only a brief separation where one kept a correspondence a secret and the other entertained a dalliance with Colin. Instead, Bridgerton Season 2 prompted Eloise and Penelope's rift, great enough for Eloise to wish never to see or speak to her again. Their conflict will have to be fought in the open before the two can reconcile, as it was too big of a betrayal just to let them spend some time apart before restarting their friendship on a more solid base. Colin's visit to Marina after his return from Greece in Bridgerton Season 2, Episode 4 proved he was still hung up on her, wondering what would have happened had things gone differently between them. With Marina's death prompting Eloise and Sir Philip's first letter exchange, it would have to happen soon, especially given that Eloise's story happened right after Penelope and Colin's in the books. However, romancing Mr. Bridgerton also showed Colin learning about Penelope's secret. Given the hand Lady Whistledown had in breaking off Colin and Marina's engagement in Bridgerton Season 1, if Marina were to kill herself in Bridgerton Season 3, it might separate Colin and Penelope instead of bringing them together, as Colin would know her secret venture. In order not to cause too much turmoil, Eloise and Philip's story would have to happen later than when it did in the books. Alternatively, Bridgerton's Eloise-centric season will have to happen very differently based on the changes the Netflix TV show already implemented, including new stories and developments, making her chapter unlike anything already seen in the Julia Quinn series. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.